Thank you, Dr. Conor, for a very generous introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that I'm the last speaker, and I shall try my best not to keep very long. And with a group of intellectuals and scholars, thinkers, philosophers, and corporate leaders all gathered here to make this GNH conference a very meaningful endeavor. I think Tashkar Maura and his team in Center for Bhutan Studies has put in a lot of efforts to make this very fruitful. And I think to do justice to the topic, I would not focus only on cement and the technical aspects. We are here with the evening's theme of GNH and corporate social responsibility. Yet again, in my second part, I have divided the paper into 3 components, and even today's evening's presentation also I would focus on the past, present, and the future. And in the past, I would like to highlight and talk about the impacts made due to the Dungsam Cement project when the present company which we are running was in the inception phase, and it was a very long drawn project, as many Bhutanese will remember, and I would highlight on those. And then the present corporate governance culture and scenario, I would like to, since after the commissioning of the present company, we would like to highlight how we are doing now and what are the tenets of corporate governance, the documents and policies that we are following under the Druk Holding and Investments. And in the third part, we would like to touch on the future, because on the first day when Tashkar Maura presented on the proposal for GNH for business, I think they came out with a very beautiful piece of booklet where there are 9 domains, 4 pillars split into 9 domains, 9 domains emanating into many indicators. And then I think the exciting journey has just begun, and we would like to propose what we can think of for the future. And first, to start with the past story of the project. Like for many projects in Bhutan, whenever the projects are started, I think it has an impact on the society, because it starts with the road construction, then growth of township. Good examples would be Tala Hydropower project. Today, Gedu College would not be existing if it was not for Tala Hydroelectric project. Chukha would not be a satellite and mini township or a Zongkhak had it not been for Chukha Hydropower project. Similarly, Dungsam Cement project in its inception and then construction phase has gone into a great length to contribute through road and bridge construction, and even Nagaland Central School construction, and then also how it led to the urban growth and expansion. And then side by side, there is a parallel growth in social and cultural impact due to those project activities. And also, I would enumerate some of the other contributions and donations made by the company. Of course, not with the objective or intention that to buy the community from giving the land for the project and so on, but I think, as someone said in the earlier presentations, CSR has to be well-intended, well-targeted, and I think it should be a fruit. So in terms of bridge, it was in 1986, the first ever single lane road was constructed by a project. And you can imagine how much the world of opportunities is opened up to that community of Nganglam and then Pemagasil Zongkha. And that 15-kilometer road may sound short, but that time, imagine a deep forest extension of Manas sanctuary, game sanctuary, within which there was nothing existing and no access point to India. And in 2010, it was blacktopped, and then Indo-Bhutan border was connected, and 5 concrete bridges were done. In 2010's financial terms, it was working out to 348 million. If you translate to today's value, it will easily cross 500 million. So that much was the construction cost for road and bridges. And at the same time, Mines Road of 7 kilometers served as a feeder road for Dechiling Geok access point. And then also, parallelly, Government of India gave a support to join that 31 NH, National Highway 31, with project up to border by constructing the 38-kilometer road length. Similarly, the project had also envisioned the construction of a school. And then imagine in 1980s, when Bhutan had just ventured into the modern development process, and the value of education at that point of time, we can just imagine. And the project has contributed to build that school. And when government initiated, again, revitalized the central school concept in 2015 and 16, Nganglam came in handy. That the school which was constructed during project came handy, because we didn't have to invest additional cost on the infrastructure. So in terms of urban growth and expansion, now today we have a Dungkhak Administration Office, Basic Health Unit, RBA and RBP centers and camps, and financial institutions. You can just name all the banks are almost there. And then these have already led to the increase in population and urban growth and township. And in terms of social and cultural impact, rural-urban migration, as you know, the modern facilities in towns will definitely attract the rural population to migrate to urban areas. And also, side by side, once after DCCL is established, Dungsam polymers have also taken root. Druk products is also there. There's a stone quarry and a lot of industrial growth and hub, I think, activities are still happening. And side by side, on the cultural aspect, when there is a more population, they will look for a spiritual fulfillment, and then some lakhangs and chotens are constructed as spiritual symbols and cultural symbols. And also, due to social functions and official functions through Dungkhak office, there is exposure to cultural component like Chibdrel, Diglam Namja, and all the national values are also being preserved. So, and then, in terms of other contributions, the small basic health unit that was started, also I think project has donated X-ray machine, dental equipment and ultrasound facilities to the tune of 1.2 million. And also the construction of Nekhang is also underway, and this is contributed by a group of DHI companies, and it's costing about 4.9 million. And it's about to be completed at the moment. And a DCM truck to improve the policing and also to ensure the safety and security of the community, DCM truck was donated to the Royal Bhutan Police. And even today, to promote health, well-being and safety, well-being and fitness of the population living there, the company is organizing annual Nagaland Marathon, and we are into the third year of marathon run this year. So this is the past story about the project, how it has contributed to various facets and aspects of the community and social development. Now coming to the second part of the presentation is how we are doing as a present group of corporations under DHI. And if you look at this slide, DHI has about 19 companies under its umbrella, and starting from manufacturing to financial services to energy and also to telecommunications and also to trading. Dungsam Cement Corporation, the company where we are working now, falls under the manufacturing sector and is fully owned by DHI. And DHI, by the way, for those who are not aware, is same concept like the Druk Holding Group in Singapore. Those who are aware will know very well. And what are the key documents that is guiding the functioning of our DHI group of companies? First, we have the Royal Charter with which the DHI was founded in 2007. And on this Saturday, DHI is going to celebrate its 10th anniversary up in Motithang Hotel. And we also have DHI Corporate Governance Code, CG Code, which all the companies that are affiliated or linked to DHI has to follow. And DHI also has the ownership policy, how that arm's length dealing and healthy relationship will be maintained between the DHI as a controlling agency and also the companies which are under it. And we also have DHI's CSR guideline and policy. And each company has to come up with its own industrial relevant functional CSR policy for every company by ourselves based on the DHI's guidelines. And we also do sign annual compact targets with DHI, wherein we have to achieve certain targets. However, currently the annual compact targets may be more focused on the financial aspect, but in future we look forward to see some of the human aspect, which we have discussed so much in the last 2 days. So I think GNH-centric annual compact targets can also come up in the future. And also we have to have corporate strategic plan. Like the governments have the 5-year plan for the governments. Similarly, each company has to have 5-year corporate strategic plan, CSP, which is based on the balanced scorecard method of development. So I have just reproduced a part of the Royal Charter here. The reason is that because in the very first 2 lines, you can see the emphasis being laid on the GNH, why GNH is important as we pursue economic pursuit. And it has been proclaimed by the present King, 5th King, His Majesty Jimmy Kesanam Yongchu. And with this charter, the DHI has been established in 2007. So the vision of DHI is to lead be a leading sovereign wealth management and creation organization that helps transform Bhutan into a globally competitive economy guided by the principles of GNH. So some of the values that DHI adheres to are integrity, teamwork, and responsibility. If you look at the responsibility aspect, GNH is already being highlighted. And of course, in terms of integrity, transparency, teamwork also, it leads to some of the GNH's one of the 9 domains it is linked. And now coming to DCCL as a specific company, as one of the DHI-owned companies, DOCs, how we are doing. We have set of rules and certain guidelines which we have to follow. Now, only some of the components I have highlighted. Internal service rules, we have procurement manual, inventory management manual, budget manual, and delegation of power. And at the same time, to maintain companies' healthy business relationship with the customers, we do conduct market survey, which we will share after a few minutes. And then annual vendors meet. We also conduct suppliers meet and annual transporters meet, and also the organizational climate survey. The market survey and organizational climate survey may be of specific interest for this GNH forum's discussion, because I think it pertains to how to ensure that we supply quality material to the market and customers, and at the same time, how to assess the well-being of our employees. So this is the staff profile, and it is a bit unusual where you see the purple barrel going quite tall, because that is more into the operational aspect, because being a manufacturing company, we have more strength in the operational category. And in terms of yearly progress that we have made, we are doing quite fine, I must say. However, a lot of things need to be improved. We are currently performing at 58 to 60% capacity, and we can go up to 98% in the future years. So, customer satisfaction survey that we conduct is between 2 to 3 years, which covers Indian states of Assam, Sikkim, West Bengal, and also we cover 3 regions of Bhutan. And in 2016, we have covered Assam and Eastern Bhutan. And that's why I'm able to produce the result here. So in 2017, we will be covering West Bengal and Central Western regions. So these are some of the questions that we have asked. Based on the availability of cement, the customers are choosing the product. And in terms of this, now there are so many brands available in India. Now, based on these brands, the customers choose based on the popularity and the amount of marketing efforts that we give. So in terms of policy, how are we doing? We have also asked the respondents to give their opinion. Similarly, in terms of effectiveness of promotion activities according to their effectiveness. So for interest of time, maybe I'm very sorry that I have to skip through some of the slides, but this indicates how we are trying to assess whether our customers are happy or not, objectively. So we have also drawn a parallel comparison between the respondents in Assam, in India, and also Eastern Bhutan. So coming to the second part, organizational climate survey, we have also carried out how our employees are doing in terms of their understanding of their responsibility, and also to assess the attrition rate, and also to know whether they are being supervised well or guided well. And these are the telltale signs whether the organization is doing correctly or doing okay or not. And also this is related to some of the domains which we have touched in the GNH on the first day. So due to interest of time, I think I'll just rush through these slides.
Yeah, you have a minute.
Thank you. So this is the third part of the paper, in which you would like to throw some thoughts for the discussion, and then also to activate some of the, I think, discussions post the conference as well. And for example, UN in 1980s and 90s coined a phrase, development with a human face. Similarly, we can also say profit with a human face, or return on investment with a human face, where every planning aspect should inculcate the human factor. and also social and corporate support for the differently abled employees or the employees with disabilities. Just now, many infrastructures are not suited for handicapped or disabled employees. So I think as a part of the GNH-centric GNH concept for business, we can incorporate some of those ideas. And also early child care centers and similar facilities would be worthwhile to think about, because it is very difficult to, I think, divide the work-life balance for the employees, and they have to worry about many things, and that it makes them lose the focus on the corporate performance aspect. And counseling sessions and programs, because in a society, I think, where you are, I think, being a proud society, I think people may not go for counseling sessions or seek help from elsewhere, but that culture has to be built where I think employees, those who are in need of help, can be given such sessions. And systematic introduction of continuing education and continuous learning opportunity can also be given, because Bhutan being a, I think, not so much established in terms of educational institutions, our employees are actually willing to study and upgrade their qualifications, but the systematic system or the availability of facilities, not facilities means testing centers, IELTS, all these have come up very recently. Similarly, each Dzongkhag could have a continuing or online or evening classes, and then I think our employees could upgrade their qualification. And also, I think for Bhutan to have a future data-backed decision-making process, we can think of corporate library, research centers, training centers, data houses, and so on. And also, the quarterly and annual reports could include human side of the business, such as happiness, work-life balance, and so on, and rather than emphasizing more on the financials. So, in addition, we could also introduce human development indices, key happiness indicators, ratio analysis, and so on. And at the same time, internal audit, royal audit, and statutory audits could focus how organizations doing in terms of employee satisfaction index, work-life balance, and so on. Not only auditing the financial performance, and so on. So with this, that has been a very quick rush through the slides, but I have covered, in conclusion, the three aspects: the past project life, and then also how we are doing now, and what are some of the surveys that we are doing as one of the DHI companies, and also some of the foods for thought that we could take along. And with this, I would like to conclude here. Thank you for your patience. Let's touch the left.